I like to call this little number striped sweater. The best time to wear a striped sweater is all the time.
The Last of Us Part 2 is finally out after a 7-year wait, and my god, this has to be one of the most divided Naughty Dog games I have ever experienced. You either love this game or you hate this game.
Nope, nope, nope. What a way to end the franchise in the first 2 hours of the game. Absolutely amazing. Gameplay was better than TLOU1 and the atmosphere and storytelling is stellar.
My disappointment is immeasurable. And my day is ruined.
Игра сделана очень тщательно с душой.
Враг сзади по левому флангу! Alright, so let's just talk about The Last of Us 1 for a second, alright? That game, 10 out of 10, no discussions. The gameplay, storytelling, everything top notch. So, this game has big shoes to fill, so let's just dive right into it. Now, it's no secret that this game is super linear, but the gameplay here is amazing. It's pretty much everything you expect from the first game, but more refined this time around. There's the same horror survival elements, and some new infected like the Scrambler, and one more that I'll get to later. There's welcomed inclusions like going prone, the ability to craft suppressors, incendiary shells, and much more. And there's good gunplay to go along with those new features. The AI here is super realistic. Enemies will give each other callouts, and they'll communicate with each other to try to take you out. But my god, the gunplay here is so satisfying.
Kobe. Got him.
Over here!
Hey, night. Okay, so I'm just gonna get into it. I have seen the leaks for this game. I know it's probably gonna be bad, but I love Naughty Dog. I've been a fan of Naughty Dog since I was knee-high to a sailor. It's like I'm gonna get the game no matter what, so I'm probably not gonna like it. This is probably gonna be Naughty Dog's first bad game, but oh well, shit happens.
Oh yeah, by the way, this game was majorly leaked like a month before release. Alright, so if you haven't played The Last of Us 2 yet, there are spoilers coming up. So this takes place 4 years after the first game. Ellie's living on her own, and she has a friend named Jesse and another friend named Dina. Those two used to date, and now Ellie is dating Dina. So they've been assigned, along with a few other people, to go on patrol outside of the city walls to clear out infected. Out beyond in the mountains is a girl named Abby and her friends, and they're looking for Joel. They're looking for Joel. I'm not going to beat around the bush here, because Joel killed Abby's dad in the last game. So Abby goes out in the winter wonderland and gets herself in trouble. Then Joel and Tommy save her. Then Abby brings him back to her friends. Now this is the most controversial part of the whole game. Joel gets game ended by Abby. But before she actually killed Joel, Ellie snuck in, and she unfortunately had to witness him getting game ended. Hole in one! Now, Ellie noticed the patch on Abby's shoulder that said WLF. Now that stands for Washington Liberation Front, which is based in Seattle. So, Tommy takes this information and runs with it. He goes to Seattle without telling anybody. So, Ellie and Dina follow suit a day afterwards, onwards to Seattle. When they were in Seattle, they took out those who were involved in Joel's murder one by one. And when they were there, they had to deal with the WLF and the Scars, the religious cult who is at war with the WLF. Then, out of nowhere, it turns out that Dina was pregnant with Jesse's kid, and while Ellie was taking out WLF soldiers, Jesse catches up to Ellie, and so they go on a mission to try to find Tommy. Jesse finds Tommy, but Ellie is devastated to find out that she accidentally killed a pregnant woman, leaving her map with all her information behind.
Hey, why'd you leave the map?
Abby finds this map where Ellie left it and traces them back to where they were hiding out. And then Abby kills Jesse.
What the fuck?
And holds Tommy at gunpoint. So as the story is right now, it seems to be pretty good. Her story is also held together with some pretty heartfelt flashbacks between Joel and Ellie.
Happy birthday, kiddo.
What is this?
This is a thing that took a mighty effort to find. Close your eyes. It'll be worth it.
Okay.
But we gotta address the elephant in the room. This is the other controversial thing in the game. You have to play as Abby, the person who kills Joel. In the first game, the Fireflies were going to forcefully do surgery that would kill Ellie to make the vaccine for the virus. Joel and Ellie have made a father and daughter relationship throughout the first game, so Joel saves Ellie and kills the main surgeon in the process. That main surgeon was Abby's father, so Abby is out for revenge. So now we flash back to 3 days before Abby found Ellie. Abby's ex-boyfriend Owen goes missing, and Owen's pregnant girlfriend Mel is worried about him. So Abby goes AWOL to find him. On the search, Abby gets kidnapped by Scars and is about to be lynched, along with another Scar named Yara, who got bashed in the arm with a hammer. Luckily, Yara's brother, Lev, saves them both, and Abby brings them to a safe place, and continues the search to find Owen. Then she finds him, and then...
Okay, the cutscene is getting skipped. Okay, skip cinematic.
But before that, Owen talked about moving to Santa Barbara with Mel.
Aren't you with Mel, dipshit?
The next morning, Abby goes to check in on Yara and Lev. Yara's arm has gotten worse, so they take her to see Mel, who is a surgeon. Mel says she has compartment syndrome, and the only thing they can do is amputate it. But they don't have the proper supplies to do it without it getting infected. So, Lev and Abby volunteer to find the supplies at the nearest hospital. While looking, Lev subtly says that he's trans and that's why the Scars are after him. When they arrive at the hospital, Lev had to stay behind because it was a WLF-occupied compound. But deep in the hospital is something huge. This monstrosity is called the Rat King. He throws spores at you like a bloater, sprays toxic gas out of his body like a scrambler, and runs at you like you're his next meal. He has characteristics of mostly all of the infected. You better craft pipe bombs before this because he is an ammo sponge. I barely had any ammo when I was done with him, and when he goes down, it feels like you just dethroned God himself from everything.
That's it?
So Abby gets the supplies, meets up with Lev, and heads back to Yara. Mel performs the amputation and is successful. Then Owen asks Lev and Yara if they wanted to go to Santa Barbara, but Lev didn't want to leave his mother, so Lev took a boat to the island where Scars inhabit to see if his mother wanted to go with him. Abby knew about an assault that would happen that night to the island, so Abby and Yara grab a boat and go after him. They find Lev, who had to kill his mother in self-defense, but the assault was happening, so they went for the boats, but Yara was killed in the process. So Lev and Abby make their way to Owen and Mel, but find them dead. But Abby sees the map left behind by Ellie. Abby and Lev go to Ellie's hideout marked on the map, kills Jesse, shoots Tommy. Lev shoots Dina with an arrow and beats Ellie, only to spare her.
Okay, that's all the time I've got. I gotta get back to playing Animal Crossing New Leaf on my Nintendo 3DS.
So 1 year goes by, Ellie and Dina are living in the country, and Dina has her baby. Tommy stops by and tells them that Abby and Lev were spotted in Santa Barbara, but Dina wants nothing to do with it. But Ellie goes against her wishes and goes anyways. Out in Santa Barbara, Lev and Abby are looking for the Fireflies, but the place is abandoned. They find a ham radio in a house and come in contact with the Fireflies. They say they're stationed in Avalon and are looking for new members. On the way out of the house, they get ambushed by a Guy Fieri lookalike.
I'm taking it to Flavor Town. I'm taking it to Flavor Town.
So then they imprison Abby and Lev. A month goes by and Ellie arrives. She gets trapped and stabbed by a tree. Then the Guy Fieri lookalike finds her and sets her free. Ellie then interrogates him for Abby's location. He says that she's in a prison, so Ellie breaks into the prison, liberates a bunch of prisoners, and finally finds Abby. Ellie finds her weak, humiliated, so Ellie sets Abby free. Then Abby frees Lev and carries him to the boats, and Ellie follows them. But something doesn't feel right.
I can't let you leave.
This last fight feels forced, and I don't know what it is, but I don't want to fight Abby for some reason. So they fight, and Abby bites off two of Ellie's fingers, and another controversial thing happens.
You're gonna fucking die!
So, Ellie lets Abby live, but here's the thing. I get why she did. Abby was not only desperate for her life, but the way Abby was with Lev probably reminded her of Joel and Ellie's relationship. Look at the way Abby is carrying Lev. It's reminiscent of Joel and Ellie in the first game. I know the story is not satisfying because it's essentially a revenge story with no revenge.
Whoa! Yankee with no...
So Ellie returns to her house to find Dina gone with the baby. All of the stuff is gone except for Ellie's guitar, but she can't play it because she lost 2 of her fingers. And then she leaves.
That's rough, buddy.
I like this game. It's no masterpiece like the first game, but it's also not the worst thing to graze the earth. I get why people like it, but I also get why people don't like it too. Although I really didn't enjoy playing as Abby, it was definitely essential to get her side of the story. The little inclusions in the story I really like too, like the synagogue. I'm not Jewish, but I find religion fascinating. I also really like that they put fat PS3s with some old Naughty Dog games in it. And also they included PS Vitas too. And the fact that one guy was playing Jak and Daxter in old Naughty Dog game is awesome. Speaking of which, Naughty Dog, can you make Jak 4 now please? It's been 15 years. Please?